Well, here we go. It is the last day of July. This was a really fast month for me. It was a good month. A lot of stuff happened as usual, and I've been glad to make some time for myself every day to make a little piece of art for Junk Journal July. Today's theme is celebrate, and I got really fixated on wanting to do something extra special to close out the month, but I'm probably going to end up doing something that's quite simple. I had a look through all my stuff. I got a new package of goodies from Etsy, which included a bunch of vintage song sheets. And there's one in there that I like, C'est Si Bon. It's so good, from the London Casino Review, Latin Quarter. I love all of that. And that sounds pretty celebratory. It's so good. So this is what I'm going to build my collage around for today. I think I'll probably just put it at the side there because it fits, and then I've got to do something about this. So I also found some things. There's these nice little tags that say upbeat things. This one says enjoy the good, so maybe I'm gonna use that because that goes with that theme. I don't know where I got these from. I think they're probably from scrapbook papers that showed up in some of the surprise packs of vintage papers and craft papers and things that I like to buy. And on that note, maybe I'll just mention that I had this idea that people who like to do a lot of this type of work, including me, we often end up with things that we don't know how to use, and they sit and they sit, and sometimes we never use them. People who do paper crafts or really any kind of crafts, we're really prone to saving things, which is a good thing. We throw out a lot of stuff in our society, and that's one of the reasons I really like junk journaling, because I think that it's really it's giving things new life, and it's making all of us think about ways that we can reuse papers that would otherwise end up just kind of disappearing. So I was thinking, I've got stuff that I don't think I'm going to use, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So what if we started up a little kind of a club where people who are into junk journaling can share their stash with each other? So basically it would be like a swap. I would get paired up with somebody else, and me and that person would swap stuff one time around. So I was thinking, like, let's do this 4 times a year, and just kind of go from there and just see what we get and just have a little fun. And then maybe there might be things where we actually end up getting inspired, and that's kind of the whole point. So I posted about that on my Patreon. I'm thinking that for now it's going to be like a really inexpensive enterprise for me. So I've kept the price just super low at $2. So that'll pay for any administrative costs that I might have. I don't know how we're going to end up managing this, but there's going to have to be some kind of a list. And yeah, so anyways, if you're interested, take a look at my Patreon. It's only $2. I had the thought that I would just limit it to 20 people for now and see where we go with it, and that should be fun. So yeah, 4 times a year, I would match everybody up and we would swap stuff. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. So if you're into it, see the link to my Patreon in my bio, and we'll go from there. So while I've been rambling away about that, as you could see, I've been putting some pieces together and just thinking about where I might kind of put things. Still not totally happy with what I'm doing on this side of the page right now. I think I'm just sort of taking an easy route of sticking stuff in there, whether I really want it or not. So I'm going to kind of hold off on gluing anything down over there. I saw these in my stash when I was organizing my stuff the other day. I did another little video about that, And I've got this little pack of things that are supposed to look like Polaroid pictures. They're little stickers. And there's a bunch of fireworks pictures in there. So I think that totally goes with the theme. And yeah, and then I got this little card, this Enjoy the Good card. So I'm just going to start gluing stuff and see where we get. I know I want this there. It makes sense to me that I put it there. So I've got this Yamato glue here. This is a Japanese glue. I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's made out of rice and it sticks to everything. I like to use this in a lot of my junk journaling because I know that things are not going to fall off as long as I take the time to glue them properly. So let's start with this here. And then maybe I'll just use this, but actually I think I'm going to switch to my cheapy glue stick for this. So yeah, it's been a kind of a fun month. These junk journal challenges are always good for me because it gives me a chance to see other people's art in a sort of structured way where it's just kind of being hand delivered to me by whomever is participating in the challenge. I love that about these challenges. And then also I get inspired by what other people are doing, which I really appreciate. It helps me find artists that I might not find otherwise, and it's just a good time. And when you make these kinds of commitments to yourself, you tend to make the time to see them through, or at least I do. So I'm landing on the last day of July with, 30 pieces of fun art that I've made over this last month. And that's just a really nice takeaway from the month for me. Just kind of putting things together here where I think they belong, design-wise. And then this month's challenge is hosted by someone who goes by Meg Journals on YouTube. If you want to check out her page, she does beautiful junk journaling. And I was going to mention before, since I used just like a blank journal for my junk journal for this challenge, I was at a little bit of a disadvantage, and I learned something from many of the other junk journalers who are participating this month, is that if you start with some pages and some kind of a journal that's got stuff on the pages already, then sometimes you're not so stuck for a design. So that's something I'm going to try out. Meg Journals also makes these beautiful handmade journals that there's no sewing involved. It looked pretty easy to do. So once I've got some time, I'm going to try to make one of those myself and see how that goes. I've got this, I think, what do you call this? Like a hole punch, a decorative punch. This is a decorative paper punch. And I did take a peek at what Meg Journals was doing today on her YouTube page, and she made confetti with a little star confetti with a bunch of different papers, and I thought that looked really, really cute. I don't have a star punch, and that's okay, but I thought maybe I'll use this little flower punch and then bring in a little bit more of these papers that I pulled out of my stash. Okay. So there's a few. I'm just gonna like glue these around up here. Maybe some over there. I'm gonna do some more. Either side of this paper I think is fun for that. Get quite a few out of this piece. And then maybe I'll glue these with the other side facing out because yeah, I don't have a lot of these punches. I think I've just got like 2 or 3. I bought this one that makes little flowers, little flowery shapes. I bought this quite a while ago and used it for another project where I needed a lot of flowers that were like the same shape. And then I have one that makes corners, which you see a lot of people have. That one's great. And then I've got one that makes circles that I bought not too long ago that I haven't used too much. So got some new things to experiment with. I'm just gonna kind of glue these around at random, just for fun. Fill in some of this white space here. You know, they say that good art, you should be leaving white space, but I really don't like to leave a lot of white space. Especially in junk journaling. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way, sort of thing. Let me just glue these around. That's fun. Let me turn one over and put that yellowy thing there. Okay, well, this is cute, but I still feel like it needs a little something else. Maybe I'm going to make a little bit more confetti out of something else. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I got just like a standard old style hole puncher here. And I found these squares of paper that kind of match this color scheme. I think these are origami papers, actually. And you can get these at Asian dollar store type places. I love those stores. I find so much great stuff in there for art journaling and all kinds of art. You can find really great paint brushes in those stores, and I'm really lucky to have a few of them in my world. So it's probably going to take me a little while to glue all these, so I'm not going to make too many. Let me make some green ones. This is just kind of an old punch, I guess, because it's not really coming through that much. Oh, but wait a minute. I'm supposed to be doing it that way, and then the confetti goes into, yeah, got it now. It's been a while. Okay, so now there should be a bunch in there. Okay, let me glue some of these around. Here's my glue stick. It's probably a better way to do this than like getting glue all over my fingers, but I'm just gonna go with it. And okay, I think that's it for me for Junk Journal July 2024. This was great, and I'm probably going to miss having a little project to do every day, but really happy about all the people that I met while I was doing this project, and thank you so much to everybody who took a look at my art that I made every day, and everybody take care.